Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel and the Scouting for United series, where today we are talking about 24-year-old Dutch centre-back Matthijs de Ligt, of course very well known, used to play at Ajax under Erik ten Hag. He then eventually got his big move to Juventus before then joining Bayern Munich, who he plays for currently. Although it seems like at the moment he isn't too happy. A lack of minutes this season has seen him, he's fallen out of favour really at Bayern Munich, and apparently he could be looking for a move away in the summer. And Manchester United have been linked, so you know what we're going to do today. We're going to go through, look at him as a player, his profile, and assess whether or not he could be a good option for Manchester United. So before we continue into the video, a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, JerseyFifa.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that be the new latest releases or the old classic ones like this, Jersey FIFA has something for everyone, and now you can check it out yourself using the link in the description down below. And also make sure to use code JerseyFifa for 10% off when you order. So we'll start off with the in-possession side of the game, and de Ligt is an extremely comfortable player on the ball. Of course, coming through the Ajax Academy, you expect exactly that. You expect nothing less really. Someone who is comfortable receiving the ball and looking to play out from the back under pressure. And one of the reasons why de Ligt is so good under pressure in these deeper areas is because he is extremely two-footed. Now, more naturally right-footed, but he is very comfortable using his left foot as well. And that actually means that he can play on either side of the defence, in a back four or in a back three. So in a back three, he can play right centre-back, central centre-back or left centre-back, and in a back four, left centre-back or right centre-back. Although at Manchester United, I would expect it to be in a right centre-back position, alongside Ligt Martinez. But from here, regardless of where he is playing, he would bring quality on the ball. However, not someone who is overly expansive and overly risky with his passing. He's quite a safe player, but a very, very efficient passer. Someone who completes most of his passes, and he's good at just playing the ball out from the back and keeping his team ticking over. Now, when it comes to actually trying to move the ball forward a little bit more, de Ligt seems to have three different modes almost. Let's say he plays as a central centre-back in a back three, in a in-possession structure. He tends to be a little bit safer, kind of keeping the ball quite safe, going from side to side. The second you put him on the outside of a back three, however, you see a more expansive player. Someone who is looking to use progressive passes to move the ball forward through the lines into nice little pockets of space. Again, he's not, overly expansive. He doesn't force the passes. He's not an insane line breaker. But he's very competent when it comes to progressing the ball through the lines, particularly when he plays on the side of a back three. And then when he's in a back four, like this sort of situation, a centre-back pairing, he likes to carry the ball forward out of defence, particularly a little bit higher up the pitch, stepping into the opposition's half. He's not someone, again, who is over the top with this. He doesn't look to dribble past players and throw in, shimmies and things like that. He is more of someone who looks to receive the ball and then step forward into space. So let's say someone like Ligt Martinez was on the ball, kind of draws the pressure from the opposition, then you move the ball across to de Ligt. From here, he is someone who will look to step forward. So like I said, you kind of get three different modes of de Ligt when it comes to ball progression, but in general, very good on the ball, very comfortable. In particular, with his long passing. Whether that be from the right side to like the left back on the other side, playing out from the back under pressure, or of course he can do it from the other side as well, from left to right. He can also go long down the line over the top for a winger to run onto, and also what he can do is kind of take his time on the ball, draw players onto him, draw the opposition out of position really, and then use a more direct ball to bypass their press and go into a big striker. So that's something which de Ligt could use at Manchester United towards someone like Rasmus Højlund, but also his ability to switch to play to someone like Marcus Rashford. Again, keep the ball on this side, draw the opposition over like this, and then look to find Marcus Rashford in space on the left-hand side. That is definitely something that de Ligt could look to do. No matter what position he plays, he is a good long passer, and it's reflected in these stats here. Passes completed, in terms of long passes, the 87th percentile. Pass completion rate, the 92nd percentile for long-range passing. But it's not just his long-range passing which is good. In general, he's a very good player on the ball. I'm not going to read through all of those stats, but you can see that he's a high volume player, attempting and completing a lot of passes. His pass completion percentage is very high, total passing distance, but also his pass completion rate for short, medium and long range passing. All extremely impressive. In general, all round, he's a good player on the ball. He's not in that elite bracket of ball players, but he is very, very comfortable on the ball, and in my opinion would be an upgrade in the right centre-back position for Manchester United on the ball. But how about out of possession? What is his style of game? There, of course, this is a centre-back. The most important thing is, can you defend? It's all nice being able to pass the ball out from the back, but can you actually defend and put tackles in and things like that? Well, Yes, De Ligt can. He wouldn't have got this far in his career if he wasn't a good defender, and he is a good defender, a good, strong defender, someone who likes to play on the front foot, nipping in front of the opposition to try and cut out passes. So let's say, again, particularly higher up the pitch, the opposition are trying to play into this player here, this centre forward. De Ligt is someone who likes to be aggressive on the front foot, using his big, strong frame to kind of knock them over, nip in front of them, get the ball, and then use his passing range to once again play from there. He's a good defender and he's a good reader of the play. He's also really good and really strong in the air as well, and he attempts a lot of aerial duels. Considering he would be partnered with someone like Lisandro Martinez, who is much smaller, that could be quite a nice dynamic, quite a good understanding. Lisandro Martinez, perhaps the one who doesn't go up for the aerial duels, we send up De Ligt for that. That could be, you know, a good little way of those two working together, because De Ligt is very strong in the air, and even the headers he doesn't lose, he's always there battling away for them. He doesn't let the opposition get a three-header in his half. He is there always looking to win the battle. And then in terms of deeper phases, in his own penalty area, he's a really good defender. Someone who likes to put his body on the line, throw his body in front of shots, things like that. All round, good defensive understanding. The question would be, if this was to be our Manchester United centre-back pairing, do they complement each other? I'm not so sure they do. Now, yes, we've got the kind of the taller player and the shorter player, one who can header, one who's a little bit smaller. So we've kind of got that. But we don't particularly here have one of them who is going to be particularly athletic and cover a lot of ground. Neither of them are slow, but neither of them are exactly ground eaters or blessed with recovery pace to cover a lot of ground. Also, the fact that they both like to defend on the front foot would be interesting. Now, that can work. You can play with two centre-backs who step forward. But when you do that, you do leave space in behind. If both your centre-backs constantly look to step forward, you do leave spaces in behind the defence. The question at that point would be, does Onana want to sweep up behind that? I'm not too sure. I'm also not completely convinced that either of them are great wide defenders. We often see systems which allow Lisandro Martinez to play in the middle of the pitch. More coming on that soon. But it is the same for De Ligt. He can play out wide and he can defend out wide, but he's not a great 1-versus-1 defender who constantly, wants to be in those wide situations. It's not really his game. So whilst De Ligt is a really good player, I'm just not sure he is the right player for Manchester United. Also considering the fact that he kind of has hopped from club to club a little bit over the past few seasons, and it hasn't really worked for him since Ajax. He wasn't bad at Juventus and he hasn't been bad at Bayern, but he certainly hasn't hit the heights that we all expected earlier on in his career. Also consider the fact that he would be on an incredibly high wage, probably another player north of £225,000 a week. I'm just not sure it's the business that United should be doing. I think if you look at the market of centre-backs at the moment, particularly young right-sided centre-backs who can play with the ball at their feet, I think there's a lot of other options out there who would be cheaper than De Ligt, who would demand less of a wage and haven't had failures previous in their career. I just think there might be better options for De Ligt out there. Now, one thing I want to just quickly confirm, De Ligt is still a wonderful, wonderful player. A great young centre-back. And at 24 years old, he's still got all the potential to, fulfill that potential that we saw earlier in his career. 24 is very young for a centre-back. He's probably 4 years away from his peak. So he still could be a top player for a European side. He could still be a top player for Bayern if he's patient. And if we were to sign him, I wouldn't be gutted about it. I wouldn't be raging about it. It wouldn't be a bad signing at all. It would be good business. But I just think if it was me, I would be looking at other options. So that's where we're going to leave the video for today. Now, this hasn't been the most in-depth video we've ever done, particularly on the defensive side of things. I will do that if we see more concrete links to Matthijs de Ligt closer in the summer. So if Manchester United really get linked by someone like Fabrizio Romano, then I will do a more in-depth video. So should we need that, I will cover that towards the summer. But for now, we're finished there, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like the idea of De Ligt? How much do you think he would cost? What do you think his wages would be? Do you think he would want to move? And is he the right player? Can he play alongside someone like Lisandro Martinez at Manchester United in the Premier League? Let me know what you think. If you think there are better options out there and you want to see a video on some better options, let me know in the comments down below. And also leave a like on the video and subscribe as well while you're there. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.